So I'm going to convert that to log form. So I got log, it's going to be base 2 of the number 16 is equal to x. And we already discussed that. We know what that is, right? We know that log base 2 of 16 is equal to, well, if it's equal to x, remember we're looking for the exponent. Because this thing right here, oops, go back, sorry. This thing right here, this log base 2 of 16, it's like it's asking us a question. And that question is, what power would I attach to this number 2 right here so that I would get 16? What, as an exponent, what exponent would I attach to that number 2 so that I get 16? And we know from earlier that that's the number 4, right? Because 2 to the 4th power equals 16. So this one was kind of maybe a simple one to evaluate for you, right? You kind of look at this logarithm and you remember that question. What power or what exponent do I attach to this base number 2 so that I get 16? And the answer right here is 4, because I know that 2 to the 4th equals 16. Okay, so let's take that one, shuffle it to the side. And now let's take a look at this one. Okay, we've done this one. We know that x should be 3. Well, let's convert that to logarithmic form. In logarithmic form, it's log base 2 of the number 8 is equal to my exponent, x. And I know, again, from that previous example, I know that x is going to be, not the eraser, sorry, I'm lame. Log base 2 of 8 is equal to 3, because I know that 2 to the 3rd power equals 8. And again, we really want to focus on that idea that this right here is an exponent. When I see log base 2 of 8, it represents a power or an exponent. Well, that's all well and good because I've worked with those and I've seen the answers to those. But now we're back here to the one that I still don't know, right? Log base 2 of 12. Well, lucky for us, now we have calculators and things are a little bit easier than they are in years past, right? In years past, and this is shortly after the horse and buggy, just kidding, if any of you know what this is, didn't mean to insult you. But what you did is you worked with these books, right? How to use slide rules and exponential scales, and you took this funky looking ruler and you sort of slid to a certain spot and then moved it almost looks like you're getting measured right at the doctor's office, and yeah, right about there. So you would move this over and find the answer to the logarithm. And this, I admit, I don't know how to use one of these things, but I've seen them in use before, and this is kind of what people carried around, I guess, in their shirt pocket when they wanted to calculate the value of a logarithm. So lucky for us, we've got calculators. And today what we'll do is let's go ahead and use the Inspire calculator that we've been using in class. And I want to just clear out the scratch pad here. So what we're going to do is we'll just clear this out. And I want to input log, so we'll say control and then the 10 to the x button. And notice that it's got 2 spaces for me to draw or to write in. It's got this space here, which is where the base would go. And then this is where the number would go, correct? So just like we were looking at that in writing, what we'll do is when we calculate log base 2 and then tab over and 12 and hit enter. And yeah, we were close. We were in the 3.5 range, but here we have 3.58496. And there's decimal places after that, but for our purposes here, it just rounded for us. So again, let's think about what that means, okay? Log base 2 of 12. I know that log base 2 of 12 represents an exponent. So if it's equal to 3.58496, then this thing must be an exponent, right? And what exponent is that? Well, it is the exponent that I would attach to the 2 to get 12, okay? So let's test that out. Let's try that. Let's take the number 2 and let's raise it to the 3.58496 Hit enter, and yeah, we get 12. That's exactly the exponent I was looking for. See, so now we have this cool little trick, or this tool that I can use to take something that maybe I couldn't figure out before, and now I can actually get a value for that. So that's what we're doing with learning target 7. You got to be able to convert between exponential and logarithmic forms of equations. Okay, so here's one for you. 5 to the x equals 125. We'll go ahead and do this one together. And you can follow along or kind of maybe get a step ahead of me. So I got the x, and this thing is stuck up in the exponent. I want to be able to solve for x, but I have to isolate it first. So what we'll do is we'll say that this is log base 5 of 125 equals x. Okay, cool. And I know from experience and from the equations that we've been memorizing and all the exponents that x in this case should be 3. So I can simplify this and say log base 5 of 125 is 3. Okay? Cool. So here's one that you can pause and do. And if we go ahead and convert that, you're looking at log base 6 of 36 equals x. And of course, I know that the exponent I would attach to 6 to get 36 would be 2, right? So there it is in logarithmic form. And then this one is already solved out for us, but it still makes sense. This is logarithmic form. Now I want to convert back to exponential. So I'm going to take base 7, go ahead and raise it to the power 2, right? Because this is the base raised to this power, is equal to the number that it gives me, which is 49. Okay, and that is a true statement. That makes sense. 7 squared is 49. So it would make sense to say here that log base 7 of 49 is an exponent, and that is equal to 2. Let's take a look at another one. And this will be the last one. You can go ahead and get ahead of me and go ahead and do this on your own. Pause it. And so now what we'll do is convert this from logarithmic to exponential. We'll take base 3 raised to the power x, right? And that would be equal to this number 81. And what is that, right? We know that x should be the answer to that question. What do I raise 3 to get 81? And that would be 4. All right, so that's it. That takes care of learning target 7, which is how to convert between exponential and logarithmic forms of equations. And we'll see you again soon for another learning target involving logarithms.